You guys got some messy ass secrets.
Ooga booga, ooga booga.
One of the more popular series on this channel is watching movie trailers and guessing the review scores. And we do just that. I pick out a bunch of movie trailers, we watch them, and then based on the trailer, I guess what I think the final score of the movie is gonna be. Depending on how close I was to the final score, I would either have to A, give you advice, or I would have to read one of your deep, dark secrets. So before every time I shoot, I like to just peruse a couple, make sure, just kind of like prime myself. And as I started to go through your secrets, I found so many good and disturbing and terrible ones, but terrible in a good way. But also in a bad way. Because we have so many good secrets, and we have a lot of good advice askerings, I figured let's just make a dedicated video, no movie trailers. We'll cover secrets up until the point where I burn myself out, and then I'll switch to advice until I can build back enough will to dive back into the secrets. Also important, if you have a secret or if you are seeking advice, I'll put the links down below. You can fill out the secret or you can fill out the what you're looking for advice for. It's anonymous. That's in the description. There's a lot of good stuff. So feel free to drop some more. Here we go. First one. My boyfriend, 24 male, and I, 23 female. We've been dating for 2 years. Our friends and family think that we're a really good match, and we're even thinking of tying the knot in a couple years. Oh, congratulations. I'm sure that's gonna go swell. But I'm a serial cheater, and I don't see myself stopping, because I also get off on the fact that he does not know. When we first started dating, we talked about smoosh a lot before we did it, and I felt a lot of pressure because he said he liked girls that could ride. At the time, I hadn't smooshed in a while, and having little experience in that department, I decided to practice with a couple guys, so my boyfriend will be impressed. He was. I would venture to guess that if your boyfriend could choose between you not practicing and being a little bit worse, and then you practicing with a bunch of guys and being better, I think he would probably choose the former. But hey, what do I know? Unfortunately, I realized I like sneaking around with other guys, especially those that are into S&M, which my boyfriend doesn't like. He's a really good guy, and he says dating me has really improved his mental health and self-esteem. Two things that will sharply decline when he inevitably finds out. But again, what do I know? So I don't want to hurt him by coming clean. Oh yeah, the coming clean would hurt him, right? So you should probably just lie. Yeah, lying is the best choice. I can see your brain working in that direction. Lying to him is actually the best thing for him. But at the same time, I don't see myself being happy with our smoosh life if I was faithful to him. So I guess I'll have to keep living my double life. Ugh, I guess I'll just have to keep doing it with other men. Ugh. The things I do for my boyfriend's mental health and self-esteem. This is a secret, and I'm not gonna give too much advice on the secrets portion because you came to give your secrets, and that's it. However, I will just tell you, you should probably prepare yourself for the inevitable day when he finds out. And I pray to God it happens sooner rather than later, because if there are kids involved and there's a divorce and then there's a lot of resentment, and guess who the kids are going to side with when they find out? Your long rap sheet of affair partners. But hey, what do I know? You know what the worst part is like, you're in this community, you're watching this video, you know what I mean? We are tangentially related in some small way. When we do Am I the Asshole post, like that's just some person. That's like, it's almost like they don't even exist. That's how far removed they are from us. But this person, much like other people who have these dark secrets, they're just regular people who probably just like finished watching like the Aladdin commentary and laughed along with that. And then they go out and cheat. That's what blows my mind. I can envision you like watching one of my videos and being like, yay, this community's so great and so fun and I like being here. Whoop, time to go get laid by someone who is not my boyfriend. Oh boy. In that same vein, I have a married man kink. Maybe we can set this person up with the husband of the last woman. And then everyone's cheating on everybody. And they all can like feel a little bit better about themselves. But I think feeling bad about themselves is part of what they like. Whenever I meet even a moderately attractive man, if he's married, I want to corrupt him. It's a real problem of mine. I only found this out when I was about to hook up with a guy and found out he had a fiance and a kid. I didn't pursue him, just looked him in the eyes and told him he shouldn't do anything with me, while silently hoping he would. Oh no. Oh, like obviously he's going to. You didn't say, we shouldn't do this. You said, I don't think you should do this. Which is basically saying like, I really want to do this, but hey, ball's in your court. And of course, why? He wouldn't reject that if he knew you were into it. Oh no, that's, oh. He made out with me anyway, and we did a few things with each other. The idea that he was struggling to do the right thing, but tempted by me was exhilarating. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. It's not right, but I get it. I didn't push things with him, and it didn't go any further. Oh, we got moral the chat? I could have gotten him to sleep with me, but I resisted, and so did he. Oh my god, faith. My faith is being restored. Now I can't help this urge I have to corrupt every married man I meet. It's so against what I believe in. Don't know what to do with that info about myself. What an inconvenient / terrible kink to have. Why couldn't I just be into feet or something? Oh, no. Oh, feet is the worst. Okay. I think the reason feet jokes are funny to me is because, like, I can't picture it. I don't get it. Like, what is the language around feet that gets you in the mood, you know? Like, does your partner come in with socks on and you're like, oh, yeah, baby, why don't you take those socks off nice and slow, like, where do those things walk today? Did that little piggy just get back from the market? Well, I don't know what it just bothers me. I can't envision it, so I don't get it. My silly little secret is that I love hanging out with people that are generally disliked, only to gather dirt on them so I can tell everyone else about it every chance I get. I like to say I'm doing a service to the gossipy a-hole community, but in reality, I enjoy seeing how long it takes for them to realize what's going on. To realize that their new friend is actually a traitor and is trying to emotionally damage them as deeply as possible. Ooh, that's a fun game to play. Sometimes I built actual relationships with these people, and it has taken years for some of these people to catch on. I don't really feel bad about it. Listen, you're going to die at some point, you know? Prematurely, I'm saying. Like, you're playing with, like, the darkest of feelings in people, you know? This is some psychopathic behavior. And I don't use that word lightly. Like, this is like, you have no empathy for people. They're just disliked people? Now, if you're like, hey, this person was just released, they got away with a murder or a crime of some sort that was nefarious, and you're gonna get like long justice, vigilante justice, that I would understand. But this is just somebody who's like already outcasted, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make them feel like they have someone they can rely on, and then rip that rug out from under them. And then if they don't fall from me ripping the rug out from under them, I'm gonna go over there and beat the shit out of them quickly and then run away. I'm gonna ensure suffering, essentially. Again, this is another psychopath who's just laughing along. Beautiful disaster. Good commentary, Dylan. All right, time to go ruin some people's lives. I need to go to some advice. I need to give some advice because this is too much psycho. And this is a very complicated one. So you guys are gonna have an opportunity to weigh in, and there's gonna be interesting duality to it. Dylan, please give me some advice. A beggar, yes. To make a long story short, I come from quite a traditional Middle Eastern family, whereas my boyfriend's family is white, British to be precise. Oh, Brits. He's the asshole. We've been together for 2 years, so naturally the topic of marriage and our future in that aspect has come up. In my culture, the groom pays a mayor. Look it up if needed. A mar is a contract some Muslims enter into upon marriage. It refers not to the contract of the marriage itself, but to a contractual dowry to be paid by the husband to his wife in the event of divorce or death. It is not, however, a gift in the traditional sense, but is in fact obligatory, and the wife to be receives it as a right. In my culture, the groom pays a mar as part of making the marriage official legally. How the mar works is the higher you choose the mar to be, the more respectable and valuable you see yourself as. And in return, your partner agreeing with the mar solidifies those values. It's usually anywhere between 20,000 pounds and 100,000 pounds. For those who need the dollar translation, that's about like 25,000 to like 125,000 roughly. It can be paid in installments. I would hope so. That's a lump sum. That's crazy though. Imagine being like, hey, you have to pay a mar. How valuable am I? I'm not really that valuable. You can hit me with the 20K. I'm good. Like, you're not really getting much in return, so 20K is fine. After explaining this to my boyfriend, he said that I'm basically with him just for money. Keep in mind, my family comes from a wealthier background, and I'm set to graduate with a master's in biomedicine. So it's not like I'm going to be completely financially relying on him in any way. And it's more of a cultural thing than anything. Sorry, I'm just seeing their conversation in my head. I do really love you. I can imagine us being together forever. Do you want to get married? What do you think? I thought you would never ask. Let's get married. Yes, we're perfect. We're a perfect match. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I feel the same exact way. If you just want to deposit that 100,000 into my account, we'll get married. I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. What was that about depositing something? Yeah, in my culture, you have to pay me $100,000 for me to marry you, so. I also understand that he's from a different culture, so I am being quite a lot more lenient with him on that matter. So you're probably asking for less money from him. I thought the conversation was successful and that we came to an agreement. However, the next time I went to his parents' house to visit him, I was berated by his mom. She was calling my family backwards for believing in those things and saying I'm causing her son so much anxiety and causing him to lose sleep over it by expecting that from him. As a resolution, she offered for him to instead get me a gold coin headband. I just Googled it, and the first thing that popped up was a $1.98 gold coin head chain from Temu. So you wanted 100,000? What if we settled for $2? I would say, like, parents stay out of this. However, I think this is supposed to be negotiated between the parents of the bride and groom, the quantity or the total amount of the mar. So the fact that the parents are getting involved isn't like strange. Offering a $2 chain though, pretty uncouth. When we were alone, I explained to my boyfriends that I would be genuinely disrespecting myself and my family if I lowered my mar more than I have, but if this is all too much pressure and not worth it in his eyes, then I would be upset and disappointed, but I would understand if he wanted to back out. So you are saying like, hey, either you pay it or we don't get married. The two options. He ended up getting really mad at me for suggesting that and stormed off, and we haven't spoken about it since. I'm not sure if I'm being a major dick or how to bring up this topic again without him saying I'm stressing him out and ending the convo. Also, how do I go about this with his mom? Okay. First you say, bitch, if you offer me a $2 headband ever again, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. No, okay, so this one's very complicated. If he is unfamiliar with the concept of a mar, as I was before it was brought up, if he's in his mid to late 20s, graduated college, just kind of getting started into his career earnings, he's thinking about like, okay, I'm just paying rent, and maybe I can start saving up for a house. If I'm getting married, we can start planning for that future. And then all of a sudden he's hit with, you have a $100,000 bill due. Don't worry, you'll get paid in installments. It's fine. That's a tough pill to swallow. Now, from your perspective, this is just the way it is. You know, this is an important part of your culture. There's no getting around it. And if it's seen as a sign of disrespect to you and your family to just completely forego it, then I can understand your trepidation and your sure-footedness in your position, right? If I was dating somebody and then I was like, hey, you want to get married? And they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to pay me money though. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's not a good feeling. You want to think about marriage as like, we go in on equal footing. Even if we have like our own separate bank accounts, that's fine. We're in this together. As soon as there's like a large transfer of like, hey, I have to just pay you a lump sum to get you to marry me, it's not gonna feel good. I'm sure he's done his research and he looked it up and he's probably like processing this. It's gotta be a gut punch if he was unaware and then all of a sudden he's got this huge bill due. This one would be perfect for you guys to weigh in the comments section. I don't know that there is a resolution. If you are confident about like your boundary is like, hey, you have to pay it or we don't get married, then you just kind of have to let the cookie crumble as it may. Let me know if there's ever an update on this. I'm curious to see how it weighed out. Anyone in the comment section, feel free to weigh in. This is fascinating. I have a crush of 8+ years. Ooh, committed, are you? I, 21 female, have never had the courage nor had the confidence to confess. I always think this year I'll confess. So I don't mean to laugh, but just like you give yourself a long runway. Like at some point during this year, I'll confess. So it's better to let out my feelings, and even if I get rejected, I can at least say I tried without the regrets of not trying. But every year I fail, I am never able to do this. He, who is also 21, and I have had some interaction, but it's really small. He knows my name and some stuff like that, and that's it. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't think I am pretty enough to be accepted as well. Okay, hold on. We gotta up the confidence a little bit, all right? Have some more confidence in yourself. I have the perfect advice for you. I'm gonna help you out, and you're gonna have a solution. No more dragging this out. Let me say, this is important before we get to the advice. Make sure, and just do some soul searching. Do you really have a crush on this person? Just think about it. I'm thinking maybe there's a possibility that you don't necessarily have a crush on this guy. You just enjoy the feeling of having a crush. Because either it's like, it's 8 years of inaction, which seems unlikely, or maybe you just enjoy the feeling and you don't want the feeling to go away. Now on to the advice. Let's say you have a crush. Let me help you out here. You mentioned that you have some interactions. It's small. So the next time you have one of those small interactions, you just gotta say, hey, actually, I was thinking about you yesterday. What do you got going on this weekend? Do you want to hang out? Super casual. And now, you're going to have one of two responses from him. It's either going to be a yes or a no, which is super easy to deal with. If he says yes, boom. Have some event planned already. Be like, okay, well, I was thinking, what about this? If he says no, well, it's not a big deal. He'd be like, all right, hey, no worries. No sweat off my back. And then you have plausible deniability. You didn't ask him out. You just asked him to hang out, just to get to know him a little bit better, you know? However, more likely, he's gonna ask a follow-up question like, is it a date, or what did you have in mind? Something to that effect. And then you would just say, we've known each other for so long without knowing much about each other. I thought it might be cool to just gotta get to know each other a little bit better. I would practice that. Make sure it's nice and it's calm, it's smooth, it doesn't seem anxious. If you're like, hey, so like, I was thinking, like, what are you doing this weekend? I don't know. I was just thinking maybe like if you wanted to like, I don't know, like do something if you have time. Treat it casually. Don't put him on a pedestal. If you've liked him for this long and you're putting him on a pedestal, he's gonna have all the power. And relationships are all about power. All right, I feel good about that advice. I feel really good. No one contradict what I've said. Let's go back to the secrets. I am ready to be hurt again. I, 23, was a smoosh worker for a number of years, and of course, that job comes with a lot of secrets. Many of my clients have been married, important businessmen, professional athletes, and online content creators. Your favorite football player might like to pay trans women to treat him like a dog, make him eat out of a dog food bowl, and use him as a footstool. Thank you for sharing. I think just a lot of people have really freaky desires, you know? But it's also a leap of faith. If you're, let's say, a professional athlete, and you go to your wife and you're like, hey, so I was thinking about trying something freaky. And she's like, oh, yes, great. I love to get freaky too. What are you thinking? And then he's like, yeah, I would love if you put a collar on me and then made me eat out of a doggy food bowl. And tell me to sit and bark. Like, how do you look at that man and be like, yes, this is the father of my children? Oh, that's tough. Like, you have to be on the same level of freaky for you not to look down on that, you know? So it's better to outsource that to a professional. Also, I don't know how you do this line of work, because if someone asked me to do that, the look on my face, I know you're paying me, but you're just gonna get the biggest, like, a leash? What are you talking about, leash? You want a dog food bowl? You gotta go to Petco? Just a smoosh? What are you talking about? I made a secret account posing as my ex-boyfriend's ex, acting like she wants to get back together. So this woman, dating her boyfriend, she secretly makes an account of that boyfriend's ex and is like, hey, I want to get back together. He fails and fell into the trap. The conversation went on for about an hour, and I was texting him as me while also texting him as the ex. Oh, God. I was so hurt, I acted like the ex-girlfriend sent me screenshots and confronted him. He broke down and said she's an evil person for that. Oh, no. We are broken up now, but stayed together for a year after that incident. I never told him and somewhat feel bad, but don't, because he reciprocated the feelings and it gave us the chance to address some other issues we had. I don't understand that. I don't understand how... Is it a pauper? No, a pauper is apparently a very poor person. That's not the word I'm looking for at all. What's the person that dangles people? Marionettes. No, the marionette is the doll. What's the person? A puppeteer is called a marionettist. How do you play puppeteer with somebody and just watch them dangle in the palm of your hands and then still have enough respect for them to continue seeing them? Like, does that not completely shatter your respect level? What you're doing? Pretty unethical, but that's beside the point at the moment. I'm just shocked how you were able to stay together. How you were able to look at him and be like, yes, this is somebody who I still respect. Let's go back to advice. That one makes me feel a little icky. Let's go back to advice. I, female 18, am dating a 32-year-old. I know that it is a huge age difference, definitely while still being quite young, but we do fit together really well, partly because I am quite mentally mature. I don't know that I've ever heard an 18-year-old say, I am very immature for my age. Every 18-year-old says, I am so mature, so I don't know how much I believe it, but hey, what do I know? Mostly because of shared humor, interests, and view on the world, I do find it hard telling people because of the age difference. Most of my friends are really supportive, and at one point, I will need to tell my parents as well. Do you have any tips to break the news? Thanks, you. You're welcome. I do have advice. Of course I have advice. I have all the advice. We're gonna no judgment, we're gonna stick to the advice section. All right? Because some people can make this work. Some people is just like, hey, there's an age gap, but it's not a big deal. Some people are uncomfortable with it, but hey, as soon as you're 18, you get to make your own decisions in life. You're an adult at that point. Do whatever you want. I hope that you pursued him. That helps so much in making him not seem like a creep. So, definitely have that information and make sure to say that at least twice. If he was the one to pursue you, don't say that. Keep that in the down low, keep that in the back pocket, and just leave it there. Because anytime an older man pursues a younger girl, it's a little bit like, ugh. But when a younger girl pursues an older man, it feels like he wasn't out there like hanging out in the high school parking lot a couple days before graduation like, hey ladies, couple more days, huh? It's just not good imagery, you know? Here's a good strategy. Anytime you have to break really bad news, is lead with a lie. Lie. That's my advice. Over accentuate the age difference. Tell your parents, I'm dating somebody, he's wonderful. He's also 75 years old, all right? And your parents are gonna be like, oh, that's the worst thing ever. It makes no sense. That's too old, right? Let it marinate. Let it sit with them for a few minutes. Terrible. All of his parts are sagging. Why would you want that? And then you go, okay, guys, calm down. He's not 75. He's 32. And then all of a sudden, something in our brain, like we've accepted that he was 75, and now we go, oh, okay, it's not as bad. So if you were the one to pursue him, make sure to drop that information. And then I would also lead with saying he's way older than he actually is, and then let him sink in with that information for a second. They're gonna be disgusted by it, and then hit him with the truth. And they're gonna have a lot more favorable view on it. All right, there you go. That might be my best advice. I'm seeing this guy. He is, first of all, a friend, and we sleep together. I met him through another friend. I kind of like him. We agree that it was just about the smoosh, but it's been a few months now, and I'm afraid I'm falling for him. Oh my God, what a shock. I know he does not want to be in a relationship, but you know people change their mind. Oh no. You are so screwed. Is it bad if we keep seeing each other without me telling him I like him? Do you think he will end up liking me because we see each other a lot? I think it's doubtful. I don't think our minds, I don't think our bodies, I don't think our biology, I don't think it lends well to casual hookups. I think we do it way too much because there are chemicals releasing in our bodies that I don't know that we fully understand, and I think our brains can overcome it to a certain degree. That's beside the point. That's another conversation. I think it's important to know though, guys and girls are different on this. It's rare that a girl will hook up with a guy that she wouldn't at least consider dating, with a guy that she wouldn't want to be seen in public with. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. But I think most girls, if they're gonna casually hook up with somebody, it's gonna be someone who they could at least bring around their friends and not be embarrassed. Guys will hook up with somebody who they absolutely never want to be seen in public with, somebody who they see no future with, and will never even consider that possibility. Now, that is a broad statement that does not apply to every single person. Those are generalizations. I think it's more likely that a girl and a guy hooking up casually, no feelings, it's more likely that the girl is going to fall for the guy than the guy for the girl. It could happen, but I would not get your hopes up. You are heading down a dangerous road, and it's probably going to lead to you getting your feelings hurt. But hey, what do I know? I'm in love with the girl, but I'm scared to ask her out because I am not the most attractive fit person ever. I know I should just ask her out, but maybe I should focus on myself until I feel comfortable enough to ask her out. I don't know, just need advice. Oh, I think this is coming from a guy. I love giving guy advice. My demographic skews heavily female. So it's nice when the guys come and they're just like, hey Dylan, give me some advice. And I'm like, hey, yeah. I don't see that as much. That's nice, yeah. All right, bro. Here's my advice to you. I have some positive news. Unlike guys who care about looks, that's like 70 to 80% of the criteria for initial impression. Girls, I think looks are like 50%. So you can overcome looks by just being charismatic, by being funny, by being someone who is easy to be around. I don't know what you mean by fit because the Brits stole that word and it means attractive. But in America, it's fitness level. If you're worried about your fitness level, I mean, you should hit the gym because that's a tangible way to improve yourself and you're gonna feel great doing it. I would say make sure you shower, make sure you smell good. That's always important. Take care of your hygiene and just be confident about it. Don't go in, again, same advice as before, power. Don't be like, oh, I'm so in love with you, date me now. You have to go in, try to treat it a little bit more casually. Let's get to know each other and then see where it goes from there. All right, I feel good about the advice section. Let's do a couple more secrets before we round this out. I should also note that there is some dark stuff in here. I want to make sure to stay monetized, or I'm going to try to stay monetized. So there's a lot of stuff that I am not putting in here. When I was a freshman in college, I always used to tell my parents I was going to Bible study when I was actually going to a party. Not shocking. Listen, that's like a nice one. I'm a serial cheater. I gain people's trust and then I destroy them emotionally. It's nice to just kind of like clear that palate. When I was a freshman in college, I lied to my parents and went to a party. Thank you. Thank you for that secret. That's a nice, wholesome secret. I grabbed dog doo-doo and duck doo-doo and put it on my ex's front door knob, front door, car, and room window. And then when she asked me about it, I told her that it was a girl from our school, so she posted that girl's nudes to Twitter. we've moved away from the wholesome. You are a freak, all right? I understand wanting to get revenge. As soon as you want to get revenge enough to stick your hand in fecal matter, you need help. At no point did the realization hit you. As you were smearing it on the front doorknob, you moved it to the car, you moved to her window, like you hit several locations. You had time to move around and think about what you're doing, and you continue. And then this girl wants revenge, so she just diabolically releases, oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. I hate all of this. I hate happy humans. How can someone be happy all the time? I find this really annoying. Just be sad. I don't understand how someone doesn't have anxiety and or depression or any other mental illness. Cool for them, they don't have any issues, but every time I see someone happy, I can't help but find them boring. I can't stand being around bubbly and happy people. It makes me want to unalive myself. I apologize for mistakes I might have done, but English isn't my native language. Ah, no, that much is obvious. Your native language is misery. Holy hell, my goodness. I think right now you're viewing this as happy people are the problem.
Cool binder. Hey, Goob, wanna come over to my house today?
They all hated me.
I think you should reflect a little bit, and you will find that they're not the problem. What's in here is the problem. all the sadness, all the misery, like that's the problem. I think once you cleanse that out, you're gonna wanna be around people who are happy and a good time. Oh my god. I hate people who are happy. I had a dream about having smoosh with my deceased... Oh, no, we're not gonna do that one. Oh, I like to watch your videos while I knit. I needed that one. I really did. I was thinking about people watching my videos and then going out into the world and committing harmful atrocities. And it's nice to know that people are just watching my videos and then knitting and then not cheating or smearing doo-doo places. You know, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You're knitting ass. I'm in love with a 41-year-old man. He was my teacher, but I graduated last year. 2 days ago, I was at a party, and he was there too. We talked a bit, and then we got to the dance floor somehow. We danced for 2 hours, arm in arm, like a couple at a concert. He is married though, but he acted as if he wasn't. While dancing, he said to me, "There are too many eyes here." Okay. Help! I don't know how to ever look at him in the eye again. You don't. You run the other direction, and then you don't look back. My dark secret is that I want something to happen between him and me. I didn't share them. There were so many girls and their teachers, and in a lot of them, it was just like a lusting after the teacher. I think that's a normal thing, just because based on the number of times it was said here. I've also heard it from people in my real life, just like, I think it's like, I don't know, it's like your hormones are going crazy when you're a teenager, and like the adult figure is like the authority figure, and also he's seen as like more worldly because he has all this information that he's teaching you. But I would say, hey, don't do that. Let it be a platonic relationship forever. But hey, what do I know? Thank you for watching. Next time, we'll watch trailers again, and then we'll only cover a handful. This was a lot. I feel like I learned a lot about you guys, as I always do in these videos. Some of it I really enjoy. Oh, you knit? How pleasant. Oh, you're a serial cheater? Not pleasant. But thank you for sharing nonetheless, even if your secret was diabolical. The forms are available in the description box. Leave your secrets, leave your questions for your advice, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.